welcome. We're going for a, I decided to turn the camera on for my afternoon swim. Take you with me. I'm here at the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and 17th Street. This is my afternoon routine. Every day after work, I come down here and do my swim. So I've got my towel. I've already lathered up with my sunscreen. I got my fins, and we'll go do a swim. The days are getting a bit chilly lately, and that's just fine. Let's go. Turn any second. Let's take a look at how the waves are. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. Oh, that's not bad. And lifeguard tower 18 actually has a lifeguard there, and two lifeguards, it looks like. So usually I hang out right around there. Gosh, there's just nobody there. Angela's not here. I wonder if the Persian doctor is here. Oh, there's the one guy. See this guy over here? Right by my finger? He's a regular too. He's been coming for about 2 months. He started about midsummer. He's got the nice electric bikes hanging out. Hi, Coil Chai. Hello. I see your comment there. Got to check both ways. Make sure we don't get run over. Oh, bike's coming from that side too. Oh, gotta get rid of my gum. I think we're good. We can make it. Where are you from? This is Huntington Beach. I'm from here. I'm literally from here. I was born right over there. And my parents had a house right over here when I was born that they built. And I took them home. So this is literally my home. You know, if you measure home by where you were born, where I was born. Can you hear the terns? Where are they though? Oh, they're over there by the lifeguard tower. The terns and the seagulls have a different sound. Oh, there's lots of them. See them over there? Lots of terns right over there. Right in front of lifeguard tower 18. Oh, there's the kite surfer. See? Dude kite surfing. My name is Kurt. I see your question. What's your name? But you can call me Softy. Oh, there go all the turns. Look. Oh, that's what's up. Here, they're coming this way. They're settling down just where I'm headed. I was inspired to do this because this afternoon I was watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Surprise Gardener, and she just had her live stream going. And she was just showing her old videos, and well, she edited a video and leaving comments. I thought that was so much fun. Literally, I enjoyed it so much. I just sat there and I was talking to Japanese people and just having the nicest time. Okay, there's all the terns, see? Over there, and then the seagulls here. I don't want to disturb them, so I'll set up my shop right here. Let's go for a swim. Hopefully I won't lose the connectivity here. I might. Anyway, so I thought, why not? Why don't I just do the same thing? I'll just set this up and let it run. And if nobody's got anything they don't have anything better to do, they can hang out with me here at the beach. Oh, Pakistan. I would love to visit Pakistan. All right, time for a swim. here to relax and swim. Great, yep. Be you. Oh, by the way, it's Toad from the server. Oh, hi Toad. I would like to see you underwater head, please. Okay. Nope, it looks like Kurt defeated the great white jaws. See you going underwater. Yep. Hi, everybody. So that was fun. That's my usual swim. Now I'm just going to sit here and read my book. So I'm just going to let this run in case anybody wants to pop in and enjoy the afternoon with me, the late afternoon. It was a really good day of work. Good week of work. It's all done now. One more day complete. Look at all these turns. Oh, here's a kite surfer. Walking past. Take a look. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it really is beautiful, Jaden. Ready? Let's see. What's that? Okay. What's that out in the water? Jaden said. Well, there's kite surfers out there. Let's take a look. See these guys out here? That? See, he's racing along behind his kite, and there's another one out there a little further. It's really fun to watch them when they come in, and like this guy, is he coming in or heading out? I think he's heading out. They'll come in and ride the waves. It's pretty exciting to watch. Kite surfers. A nice book on the beach. Now that is a good way to spend an evening. Yep, it is, Jade. Do not read on the beach, listen to the nature, the sea. Kurt will destroy his eyes by reading like this, against the sky and the sun. Maybe. The seagull has tried to eat Kurt's food, but there was only a book. Kurt, when you go back to Japan, so your channel will get more viewers again, now is only me who's listening to the ocean. How cold is the water? It's not cold. It's not too cold. Oh, there he goes. See, he's riding the wave. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Oh, that's pretty right there. They turn around. Thank you. I'm enjoying my time. Jump. See when he hits that big old wave. Yep, it's like fun. Well, that guy's over there is riding the wave. Yeah, that's an oil platform out there. You can see two of them from here. And then you can see a few more out there. Oh, here he goes. He's going to go through the white water. Oh, there you go. Big wave. Look at that. He backed away from it. He's going to go over that big wave now. Oh, he had to turn around and run from it. He's got messed up in the white water there. Look at all the kites up there. That's the dog beach up there. Well, it was a good day today. A very nice day. I got a lot done at work, and I did some editing. There was a video recently where one of those guys got carried away inland by the wind. Dangerous stuff. I saw a guy yesterday out here who crashed and ripped his sail apart. It all got torn up somehow. Don't know exactly what happened. But I added a Dr. Johnson quote to Going Alone, to the part for the objective number 8, which is the principle of balance. I'll read the quote that I added. It's from the book I'm reading, the Boswell's Presumptuous Task, the writing of the making of the life of Johnson. The quote was, and Justice Johnson, he said that to have management of one's mind was a great art, and that it might be attained in a considerable degree by experience and habitual exercise. That's a good sentiment. So I went ahead and added that. I'm going to go ahead and carry on reading. Let's go ahead and read aloud. Anybody that's hanging out, you can hear with me. Johnson, Margaret told him that he had been wrong to allow Johnson's remark to stand and feared that MacDonald might challenge him to a duel. I have no great fear of that, bragged Boswell to Malone, affecting bravado. But why be in any degree of public why be in any degree a public executioner? He suggested that changes could be made to the second edition to reduce the risk of giving offense, but he was anxious not to seem to be wavering. If you could have an opportunity to know for certain that Lord MD does not take it hot, a few lines to Mrs. Boswell, James's Court, Edinburgh, would relieve an excellent woman. But MacDonald did take it hot. Within a month of publication, Boswell, so they're talking about the reaction to Boswell's publication of the journal of his tour to the Hebrides with Dr. Johnson. A lot of people were upset by some of the things that were written. But MacDonald did take it hot. Within a month of publication, Boswell received a most shocking abusive letter from Lord M, which I thought made it indispensable for me to fight him. The disagreeable business with Tytler had left Boswell depressed and confused. Now, Lord MacDonald's violent letter appeared to confirm Mrs. Boswell's fears. He felt quite dismal. Such a dreary force upon me in my gloomy state was terrible. I thought of my dear wife and children with anxious affection. Could not rest. Had 1,000 thoughts. Poor Boswell faced the dilemma. At his wife's prompting, he had already decided to make certain changes to the second edition of the tour, which would lessen the offense to MacDonald, but he did not want it to be thought that he had done so under threat. Courtney, who seemed to have enjoyed the situation, goaded him with the suggestion that MacDonald might brandish in public a copy of the letter he had sent to Boswell, or even publish it. If so, I would be obliged to call him out. That would be to a duel. Boswell was bodily rattled, torn between the threat to his honor and the danger to his person. While complicated and delicate negotiations were conducted with MacDonald, Courtney obligingly showed Boswell how to stand and fire a pistol. So this is the end of the 18th century. People were still dueling back then. MacDonald spun out the discussions for 2 weeks, while Boswell suffered sleepless nights of torment. Eventually, MacDonald agreed to delete passages from his already sent letter. Boswell was especially anxious that MacDonald should retract the suggestion that he had fathered a few rude sayings upon Johnson, in exchange for the revisions Boswell had already decided to make to the book. Honor was satisfied. The second edition of the Journal of the Tour to the Hebrides would be matched by a second edition of MacDonald's letter. MacDonald crossed out the remarks which had particularly upset Boswell, but the originals were still legible underneath. The second edition of the tour, with the revisions insisted upon by Lord MacDonald, appeared towards the end of December 1785. Included in the appendix were the Latin verses which Sir Alexander had presented to Johnson on Skye. Boswell also added a note qualifying his original remark that he had suppressed everything which I thought could really hurt anyone now living. Here's the remark. Having found on a revision of the first edition of this work that, notwithstanding my best care, a few observations had escaped me which arose from the instant impression, the publication of which might perhaps be considered as passing the bounds of a strict decorum, I immediately ordered that they should be omitted in subsequent editions. I was pleased to find that they did not amount to the whole of a page, to amount in the whole to a page. If any of the same kind are yet left, it is owing to inadvertence alone, no man being more unwilling to give pain to others than am I. If he thought that would be the end of the matter, he was wrong. MacDonald may or may not have shown his letter to others, but somehow the story got out. In February 1786, a satirical poem, a poetical and congratulatory epistle to James Boswell, Esquire, was published under the name Peter Pindar, a pseudonym of Reverend John Walcott, M.D. It depicted a trembling Boswell, threatened with a beating by an angry Lord MacDonald, and referred to the letter of severe remonstrance which MacDonald had sent, as a result of which it claimed Boswell had cut various scandalous passages from his book. Just the thing Boswell didn't want. Though Boswell issued a firm denial, the subject quickly recurred in another Pindar poem. In In the summer, two sets of caricatures appeared, drawn by Samuel Collins and engraved by Thomas Rawlinson, one of which, entitled Revising for the Second Edition, fixed the scene imagined by Peter Pindar forever in the public memory. Privately, Boswell had stood up to MacDonald, but to the public it looked as though he had surrendered. It's amazing how none of that stuff matters now. The controversy helped to prolong the interest in Boswell's book, as the author himself recognized. Indeed, William Mason, the poet and biographer of Gray, exclaimed tongue-in-cheek to be very angry that he had not been attacked by Johnson in the tour. It looks, he said, as if one was nobody. It looks as if one was nobody. Continuing aftershocks from the MacDonald eruption ensued. So I guess it's a thing to have had your internal gossip talked about in the book. It became a thing. That continuing aftershocks from MacDonald's eruption ensued that ensured that the Journal of the Tour to the Hebrides remained newsworthy, and a third edition was published in August 1786. As an appendix to the second edition of the tour, Boswell printed a letter from the poet Dr. Thomas Blacklock, politely questioning the accuracy of Boswell's description of a conversation held 12 years earlier. Blacklock had been introduced to Johnson at Boswell's Edinburgh home on 17th August 1773, soon after Johnson's arrival in Scotland. He and Sir William Forbes had come to breakfast. A discussion had followed of whether it was easier to compose a poem or a dictionary. Blacklock's good-humored letter suggested that Boswell might like to revise the account of the conversation printed in the book, to reflect Blacklock's memory of what had occurred, which was a little different. Boswell was happy to print Blacklock's letter. He firmly rejected the suggestion that his own account might have been faulty. I am slow to believe, he wrote, that any man's memory at the distance of several years can preserve facts or scenes with such fidelity as may be done by writing them down when they are recent. I beg it may be remembered, as it was Boswell's habit, and I beg it may be remembered that it was not upon memory, but upon what was written at the time that the authenticity of my journal rests. It was Boswell's habit immediately after events like that to go back to his room and write down what he remembered. This subject, the superiority of contemporary record, recurs throughout the tour. Boswell frequently cites Johnson's authority to reinforce the point. Here's Johnson. How seldom descriptions correspond with realities, remarks Johnson, and goes on to draw the moral. The reason was that people write them some time after, and then their imagination has added circumstances. It was but of late that historians bestowed pain and attention in consulting records to attain an accuracy. Johnson's comments, and again, all history, so far as it is not supported by contemporary evidence, is romance. For Johnson, these arguments were consistent with his general insistence on scholarly rigor, but for Boswell, they were a vindication of his method. A letter to the St. James Chronicle praised the tour as a work of biography. Mr. Boswell has made me personally acquainted with a man to whom I was before a stranger. He has drawn his picture better than Sir Joshua could have done it. Boswell has already admitted the biographical nature of his book during his interview with the king. It will be more a journal of Dr. Johnson than of what I saw. Yeah, and it was. I did read it. It was indeed a journal of Dr. Johnson. Unashamedly so. In a sense, the tour is part of the life of Johnson. The life breaks off at the point where the tour begins. Absolutely. Having read both, I would say that's true. And picks up where it finishes. The standard edition of the Life of Johnson implicitly acknowledges this by including the tour as the fifth of its 6 volumes. Oh, interesting. The tour is also a precursor of the life in another sense, in that it attempts to establish Boswell's claim to be Johnson's biography. The writing of the journal is itself described as is Johnson's reading and approving it. Thus, the reader is witness to the biographical process, and Boswell is able to afford himself retrospective authorization. Now, as then, biography is a delicate matter, and negotiations beforehand are sometimes described, sometimes bitterly described in their preliminary pages, but rarely are they related in the main text as they are in the tour. An announcement at the end of the book reinforces Boswell's claim to be Johnson's authorized biography. Preparing for the press in one-volume quarto, The Life of Samuel Johnson, LL.D., Mr. Boswell has been collecting materials for this work for more than 20 years, during which he was honored with the intimate friendship of Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson was well informed of his designs and obligingly communicated to him several curious particulars. With these will be interwoven the most authentic accounts that can be obtained from those who knew him best. Many sketches of his conversation on a multiplicity of subjects with various persons, some of them the most eminent of the age, a great number of letters from him at different periods, and several original pieces dictated by him to Mr. Boswell, distinguished by that particular energy which marked every emanation of his mind. Nice description of the doctor. Readers and reviewers were not slow to take hint. It would be not only uncandid but ungrateful to dwell on a few minor blemishes after the pleasure and profit we have received in the perusal of this work. Concluded a review in the Gentleman's Magazine. Mr. Boswell announced the life of Johnson, for which we shall wait, not without impatience. I think I'll stop there. It's time to go. What's that? Comment? Comments here? Yeah, oil platform. So many. There was a video recently where one of those guys. Oh yeah, we heard that one. The wind's got your microphone. Oh well. Sorry about that. Wind is so strong I can't hear you. Sorry. Why YouTube not showing that? One is only watching YouTube poop. Alright everybody. I think I'll stop for now. Thanks for joining me.